Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures, where I'll be talking and reviewing action figures from different manufacturers. Today we're going to be having a look at another G.I. Joe Classified series. This is Leatherneck, so we're doing a 2025 figure that came out. So of course this is the new packaging that Hasbro has decided to do with their figures. So of course Leatherneck is number 148 in the line of the G.I. Joe Classified series. Of course, these boxes are a bit interesting, but I would like Hasbro to stick to one kind of box and not start changing them. The fact that they bring back the blister cards were interesting, but try to keep the same shape. It's a lot easier to put on shelves if you want to put your figures in a certain way to expose the boxes. It makes a lot more sense to have it in that kind of way. So of course, like I said, this figure came out in 2025, so we're not reviewing any of the older figures. I just got these in, a whole bunch of them. I'll be uploading a video with the mega haul that I just got in, so you can go and check that out after watching this video, or maybe you watch the video before you are watching this one. Now, of course, this figure is $24.99 in the US. It's a general release, so you can find him in any good shop. He did sell out pretty fast, and there was a bit of a problem with this, but we'll be getting into it more regarding when I'll be doing the review, regarding the approvisionment of this figure. This figure did have a lot of problems. Now, of course, he is also €29.99. I still think he's available on Hasbro Pulse Europe, who's the only place where you can get them, or except if you have people importing them in a parallel importation. Now let's have a look at the history of this figure. Now let's talk history. The original figure came out in 1986, so this is the one from my Mint in Box collection. Of course, as you can see, this is a very interesting figure for 1986. 1986 was also my favorite line of figures. Of course, I have this one as a little bonus, who is the same figure but out of the box. I picked it up in a loot not long time ago because I wanted some of the vehicles. I'm not much interested in anymore having these figures loose. I'll be doing a video explaining how my collection evolved and how I decided to do certain things. But as you can see, this figure is pretty neat, so I guess I'm going to be having him put up for sale sometime soon. But this does put it as a very interesting figure. Now, like I said, 1986 is my favorite line of G.I. Joe figures. As you can see, he is not only a Marine, he is also from the Special Force Unit, the US Marines Raiders. So, of course, this puts it as a very interesting figure, and we'll be talking about it also regarding the new one from the Classified line. Of course, we go into the details of having a file card, something who's still missing, Hasbro. So if you're watching, remember, it would be nice if you provide a website with a link with the new file cards for the new figures. Now, of course, it will not be complete if I will not also talk about the other figures that we got for the 25th anniversary. Now, they did do some versions of Leatherneck, and one of the best ones that they did before we're talking before the 2014 version. So this is the one that came out with the Mission Brazil set 2. So the figure is pretty neat, also very interesting, comes with a lot of equipment, and I really do like this figure. This figure came out in 2011, so yeah, it comes with a box set with all the other figures. I will be reviewing that box set at a later time. I dropped his machete, so let's put him on the side, and let's go with the one who's the most interesting, who is from 2014. As you can see, you can understand why I have a preference for the new figures, the ones from the 25th anniversary line series. I mean, of course, he is a lot bigger, maybe a bit too big, even compared to the original figure over here, because he's pretty tall as a figure. So I don't know what Hasbro did, but let's have a closer look at the details. I mean, for a 3¾ inch figure, you can remove the knife. You have a small knife, but that one is in the box. You have a pistol that goes over here. Of course, sadly, the hat doesn't come off. But I mean, this figure looks pretty neat. if we can say it as such. I'm going to turn this box over so then we can dive into having a look at this figure and seeing what we get in the box. Of course, we do have a lot of so let's put this over here so we can have all of this. Now let's dive into what we get in the box. Now, of course, let's dive into what we get in the box. Of course, we do get our figure Leatherneck. He comes with a backpack. He comes with a machine gun that has a removable charger. He does have a knife. He does have his hat. He does also have over here his glasses. And he also has a pistol. And something really nice that they did, they decided to give him some fists. Now, for the ones who are fans of the cartoon will know why they're giving him the fists. I guess Wetsuit will be coming around because there was always a bit of a fight between Leatherneck and Wetsuit, who's a Navy SEAL. So who's the best? It's a pissing contest. So this is something very interesting that they decided to go with the figure. Now let's have a closer look at the figure itself. As you can see, the head sculpt is really nice. This head sculpt gives me a bit of a vibe of Burt Reynolds, you know, from Cannonball and some of the other movies. So he does give me this vibe. Afterwards, there's a nice reproduction over here of the Marine logo, or the Raiders logo. It's not totally that. So there we are, as you can see here. You have the sergeant tags, you have the tags on this, the other shoulder for his grade, you have different ammo pouches. I mean, this really does look like a tier 1 operator. Does have the radio who goes up. Would have been nice to see maybe an earpiece or something to go up over there, but I must say, generally this figure looks pretty neat. He also has his metal band like he had over here. I do not know why, and I like the fact of adding a watch. Now, of course, the watch could be turned over if you wanted to really make it more a special force unit, because you don't want any reflection on it, so he would have to turn his wrist to be able to look at the time. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back into the figure. Of course, we get his not famous M16 that we got, who was the M16A2 with the M203. This is a more modern version about it. The weapon does have a removable charger. Of course, you cannot open over here. And he has an extra ammo clip in this little pouch over here. Hot Toys did a figure with this kind of things. Now, of course, we have this backpack. So I think this is exactly the same backpack, if I'm not mistaken, than Weekendo. So, of course, Hasbro is reusing a lot of these items. We get some glasses. Some protective glasses, don't really know why for we have it. We have a knife, combat knife. Of course, we do have the 2 fists over here. And we have a new pistol, because I haven't seen this one anywhere else, with a longer magazine over here and has a red dot over there. So that's everything you get. Of course, I nearly forgot the cap over here with some kind of emblem who resembles what Gung-Ho has tattooed on his chest. Now, one big thing that you have to understand, these figures this figure here cannot reproduce except if Hasbro will pay some royalties, because every emblem or any army emblem or unit has been copyrighted. So if you want to do, let's say, US Marines, you want to do the Marines, if you reproduce the Marine Corps, like we used to have on the original Gung-Ho or even on the Leatherneck figure. It did have it at the time, because you can see it's very hard to see, but if you look over here, you do have the eagle and of course the anchor who goes across the world, through the world. So I mean, this is really something of extremely interesting to know, that you cannot just put it on except if you want to pay any copyrights on this figure. Now that we got this away, let's talk about, is this figure a collectible item, and what are my final thoughts about this figure. So before going into my final thoughts and what do I think about this figure, let's talk about the value of this figure. Now, I believe this figure will have a bit of a collectible value due to the fact that it's pretty hard to get these figures. They've been sold out. There's Xandar, there's of course Dial Tone. This is why for my order took a bit longer to arrive, because I got an email from our friends at Hasbro, and they were saying, oh, by the way, you were going to ship out your Dial Tone, but sadly, Dial Tone is only pushed back to October or November of 2025, so that's really a bit of a shame that they're doing that. But again, we have to deal with it. So I believe this one does have a bit of a collectible item, and being a super popular character from the 1986 version of the figure, and they did a really perfect job in recreating this guy. So of course, you would want to have this figure in your collection. Something I've noticed lately, that the backpacks don't always go really nicely in anymore. Even if your vest is properly aligned, they seem to have a bit of a problem going in. So I noticed that this one got a bit bent trying to go in. As you can see, it doesn't go in that good. So that's a bit of a shame on that behalf. So you can see it does bend, so this could be a bit of a problem, I think, for this figure. So this is something who's a bit disappointing. And of course, we do have his rifle, like I said, who's very interesting, but of course he's going to inherit this one from Plan B Toys, who looks way better on him than this one over here, and really brings back the vibe of this rifle that he had back in the 1986 version. Oops, there we are. As you can see, the M16A2, really an impressive weapon that got a lot of its kind of greatness from the movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger holding it, because it does look pretty massive in his hands. The fact of he also has unlimited ammo, but that's something else. But as you can see, the figure really looks great, and I'm really happy about the figure. Now, if I will have to be nitpicky about it, and the things I don't like about the figure, I don't like the fact that we get a red dot on his pistol, but when we're looking on his rifle, we get the iron sights. I mean, if he is a Marine Raider, he would have an optic, he would also have a red dot, and some kind of other instrument that you would have on the M16A2. I mean, this is one from Hot Toys. You have the little accessory, of course. Over here you would have the optic, but I didn't put it on. But you would have an optic, so it would be logic that you would get some extra equipment on it. So I think for that, the figure is going to lose a bit some points. The fact that these backpacks don't fit in as good as they used to be, that's also a bit of a downfall for this figure. So anyway, I'm still going to give him a pretty good note because I really like this figure. And for me, this figure is 9 out of 10. They could have made some little extra stuff that would have made the figure a lot better than what he is. But overall, I mean, I'm really happy of this figure, and I'm really happy to add it to my collection. So that's going to be it for the review of Leatherneck from the Classified series. If you like this review, please leave a like, share, comment in the section. If you have any suggestions for any videos that you would like me to make or anything you would like me to talk about, let me know in the comment section. You can go and check out some pictures. Haven't gone out with him, got a bit of a cold vague right now, so we're not going to be doing much pictures right now because it's a bit cold outside, but as soon as the weather comes back, I'm going to be posting some pictures on my Instagram page and on my Facebook page. The links are in the description. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!